Can you hear me already? Let's see. There we go. Now we're live. Perfect. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. Great job being on time. Thanks for jumping in. Let's see. Ahmad, Don, Gerard, Jared, Tom, Ryan, Heidi, Ryan, Anton, Andrew. Phenomenal. Awesome, guys. Welcome. I've got Jericho here. How we doing today, man?
Doing great.
Yeah, I'm fired up. I'm ready to go. For me, I know I always get inspired to see the people who take action and follow up on this stuff, right? Like that's the whole point of doing this challenge is getting out there and helping you, give you the roadmap, give you the playbook of what to do and how, homework to hold you accountable. But when the people turn in the homework and they're like, this was fun, this was great, this is helping me out, like get started and just me seeing their passion gives me energy. So it was awesome. I'll get into it here in a bit, but it was awesome seeing how many people were blowing up my inbox with the homework and being able to reach out and talk about that stuff. So good job, people. Great start.
Love that. Week. I love that, man. So I know that we had a few students, at least from the academy side, turn in their homeworks and was super excited about the challenge, man. So that's awesome.
Absolutely. Yeah. And we'll be starting off, again, this is the 30-day Driving for Dollars challenge. Hopefully you're in the right spot here. Hello, everyone. Again, thanks for saying hi in the chat. If you can say where you're watching from in the chat, again, that's always awesome to have you guys start to team up with each other. I know we sent out an email about accountability partners and tried to include a sheet of people that were involved in the chat last time, try to help you guys team up with each other. Obviously you have the Discord right there too. So you've got a great just network, in general with just WTM Academy, like the resources they provide you guys, like you are set up to succeed. And leading with action and defaulting to action is really what we talk about as the commonality among everyone who we see get a lot out of this challenge, but make a good real estate business in general, make good headway there. But with that leading with action, having this community to fall back on and having other accountability partners to help you, tackle different challenges and have you, come on trainings like this where you're investing in yourself and you're investing in your education and you have the opportunity to ask questions, during things like this. All of those things are going to up your likelihood of success. And, again, leading with action, but having that kind of default of, some place to fall back on to increase your knowledge and increase your ability to learn. Like that is all that together is going to set you up for success in this challenge. So I get excited whenever you guys are on here. You guys are ready to go. I love to see we've got people in Seattle, Florida, Columbus, Ohio, Houston. Awesome. So again, jump in the chat, say where you're based out of. We'll have people trickling on for this one. From moving forward again for these as well. I know we had the first kickoff was at last week, Wednesday evening. For moving forward, we're going to be at this time slot, which is around my typical time slot when I'm helping out the the WTM Academy community in general. Like I'm coming on those calls and being able to be a resource for you guys, a couple times a month typically. But for this challenge, we're going to be at this time slot moving forward and make sure to pay attention to your email too, because that's where we've been giving out the homework. That's where we've been sharing pro tips. That's where we've been sharing the accountability sheet, things like that. So we'll keep in touch that way. Obviously we have the Discord and you can reach out to Jericho and I there. But we can jump into this. Do you have anything else you want to add on your end, Jericho?
No, man, all good from my end.
Awesome. So again, if you weren't on last week, Matt Camp over here with Deal Machine. Our mission is to give everyone the power of real estate investing. And we're really proud to say we're the highest rated and most reviewed app out there for investors to find off market deals. So really excited to be able to bring the energy here with you guys. Like I love to see you all jumping in the chat and being able to show what you've done, ask questions, get involved, and really continue to take this challenge seriously. Like we had a abnormally high percentage of people turn in the homework, which was awesome. Like that it was a great measure of this community, and like you guys are action takers. So you should be proud of yourselves for that. I know for today, we're going to go through and do that giveaway, do the week 1 giveaway that people have been submitting homework to. This is a bunch of screenshots of individual emails of people reaching out to me, just turn in their homework. We told them, hey, go out and find 100 rundown properties. That was the homework for last time. If you missed that, we do send out the replay, which I'll send out the replay of this tomorrow, as well as that week 1 recording in tomorrow as well. I think, did you put the replay in the Discord too? I can't remember.
Yes.
Okay,
yep,
cool.
We already put it up there.
There we go. So you can find it in the Discord as well. Was awesome to see people take action on this. So we're going to go through that giveaway and tell one person live today that they won that $800 plus prize of an entire year of Deal Machine, all set up for you, where you don't have to touch a thing in terms of payment or unlocking anything there. And then you've got $100 in free marketing credits as well on top of that. So that'll cover what we talk about today, which are our main focus for week 2 for today, is what to do with those leads, how to market to them, how to reach out to them, how to get in front of a potentially motivated seller. So that was, really inspiring to see. Again, we talked about this last week, but right now is such an exciting time to get into this, where you're taking action at a time where, things are very uncertain in the market. We don't know exactly what's happening. A lot of places have dealt with a slowdown, have dealt with, we don't know where we are within a recession potentially. You hear that word thrown out all the time. But regardless of where we are in any type of slowdown, any kind of downturn, we as investors and wholesalers are more valuable. We're able to solve more problems for people. There are more people out there dealing with dire situations, with financial distress, that we can come in and offer speed for them, if they need to sell fast, offer convenience if they don't have other options, or if they can't go on market, or maybe they don't want to work with a realtor for many reasons. We can offer cash, to help them there. And there are many, many potentially just motivating factors, just situations that people are dealing with now more than ever. And now is the time to step up, take action, to find those people. And again, we were teaching you last week on how to identify them by driving around and looking for fixer-upper properties, looking for those rundown distressed properties. And then today we're going to talk about what to do once you have built that list. So where most investors do get stuck, or where most would-be investors or wholesalers get stuck, is they used to know how to find that great deal, how to buy right in a market like this. So that's what this entire challenge is really focused on, is giving you that playbook and breaking it down into bite-sized chunks over 30 days, where the playbook that we're giving you, what we're pulling for you, is from our experience, from 10,000 plus deals that we've seen done using Deal Machine. Get our goal on our end is to give everyone the power of real estate investing. And like I mentioned, we're lucky to say that we're the highest rated, most reviewed app out there for investors to do so. What we pulled this playbook from is from David's story, his background, which is our CEO and founder. Kong has talked about how to drive for dollars, how to go find really motivated sellers, both virtually and in person. We have, again, over 10,000 deals as examples that we can use here, and done in every single state and every single market. So what we have broken down through this challenge is from this huge data set to really give you the best chance of being successful over the next 30 days, and really just build a foundation where, our goal is to help you do a deal in 30 days. But if you don't, or if you are on your way to doing that, the real win is, hey, you've built the systems, the processes, the playbook. You know what to do, regardless of if you're using Deal Machine or not, to go land that first deal and many deals after that. So that's our goal today, is to help you kind of go through that part 2 of the playbook, do a real deep dive on this. Again, it's pulled from people like Ryan Haywood right here, who he was going through a 30-day challenge in January of 2020. He had his first deal under contract on day 17, which was awesome. He is very focused on wholesaling. He did 72 deals in his first 12 months, which is phenomenal. Like, so cool to see him run with this. And then he did 400 deals since then using Deal Machine. So, what he's doing, what he talks about, what he uses, that's what we're going to teach you today. Cody Surzer, he's another one he's out of San Diego, very competitive market, went to focus on Milwaukee, where he grew up, and did 2 deals in the next month when he changed his focus to that other market, and then has done 3 to 4 deals per month in Milwaukee since then. So he's another one that we're teaching, like, hey, how he's doing this virtually, how he's doing this with drivers. We talked a lot about that last week on virtual driving for dollars, on adding team members, all of that. We'll do a quick recap today to really kind of give you that playbook again in case you missed it last week. But, here's some, Cody's a great example of people who've been successful with this, that we want to give you their inside pro tips and secrets there. Matthew Weaver, another guy who is this one, not just in San Diego, investing in Milwaukee, but from the other side of the world. He was living in Saudi Arabia in October 2020, landing deals virtually. So what he's done, what he has really used, that's what we're teaching as well. Patrick Martin, he's another one that really talks about like, hey, somebody who is brand new to this, who's truly changing their life with this, where he was literally sleeping in his truck trying to figure out how to change his situation. And he learned about Deal Machine, like learned about real estate from YouTube. In his first 10 months on this, he went from doing that to his first 14 wholesale deals, over 150K in wholesale fees, and truly changed his life through all this. So it's people like Patrick, who's just getting into this, who wants to change their life in that way. It's people like Ryan Haywood, who has built up, a little empire now of wholesaling and, through this entire journey. So that's our goal with this challenge, is to break it down into 30 days to really show you, here's what they are doing, here's exactly how they're going out there, and then giving you action steps to achieve that yourself, and really trying to hold you accountable for that too, which we'll get into. We're giving away all kinds of free stuff to help you do that. So what this challenge looks like as well, each Wednesday we're doing these live trainings. So last week we did the first one. I'll do a quick recap today in case you missed that. This second one today is really focused on marketing. So we're going to be giving you the playbook on how to really set yourself up for success, to reach out to sellers, to get their attention, to go, have conversations with motivated sellers. So again, that's, live trainings every single Wednesday. Make sure to bookmark this time and this link for the same time each of the following weeks until we're done here. We're on day 8, I guess, at this point. So, hopefully you finish that homework. We had a good chunk of you do that. If not, though, hey, that's okay. This could be the very first thing you're tuning into. That is totally okay. You have time to catch up. You have time to go out there, execute on this stuff. You have time to even get into the giveaways by qualifying, by doing this homework each week. So, hey, regardless of where you're at, if you're overachieving, awesome, keep it up. If you are just getting started, that's okay. Let's jump in together today. So no better time than now. After that, each weekday we've been sharing out emails. Again, I know we're posting in the Discord. Jericho has been super helpful, been awesome there to really be a support inside the Discord throughout this whole thing. So ask questions there, ask questions over email. We're giving you, through these pro tips, we're giving you shortcuts on what has worked and how to really succeed in this challenge, but then again, set up a system that's going to last way beyond 30 days and make you successful beyond just getting that first deal. We want to help you get your first 100 deals if you're ambitious enough to do so. So that's our whole goal here. Again, we're going to be checking in on your progress as well and be coaching you through, hey, here's where you should be. Here's, what's coming next, and really help you, again, turn these 30 days into bite-sized chunks. It isn't easy to hit these goals. It is a challenge, that we call it that for a reason, right? But going through this, we are giving you the playbook for a reason of, hey, here's how many leads you should be getting in front of, how many leads you should be reaching out to, because we know that based on the math, here's what's going to get you to that first deal and to many deals beyond that. So we've been going through that on Wednesdays and through every other day. On Fridays, I send out an email each Friday of a giveaway of what we're sending you guys, giving you an opportunity to win. So this week it was an $800 plus prize. We're probably gonna get over $3,000 in terms of free giveaways. We're gonna be getting higher than that number. So we're gonna be giving out a ton of free stuff for you guys. The key to qualify for that is to complete the homework, though. So when I say, hey, make sure you turn in the homework, make sure you email me evidence that you have completed what we're asking you to do each week. This is where you do that, is being able to either email me direct or through the email list that you're on now. And this is why you do that, is for these giveaways. Like again, the real prize is doing that first deal, right? Like we want to help you get out there and go do that first deal, break through the barrier. Like and Jericho, would you say that the first deal is the hardest? Like after that, you're starting to build some momentum?
Oh, absolutely. Because you just don't have the confidence within yourself, because you're like, well, hey, can I really make this happen? And so really, I feel like mentality is where that's really hard. Is getting that first deal. As soon as you can get that first deal, you're like, oh shit, man, it's the doors of opportunities just have now just open, and it's a whole different game. Yeah,
for sure. So
absolutely.
we want to get you to that moment where it's truly a breakthrough, and you understand, man, this is a really exciting future for me. So That's our goal with each of these. Yes, you might win the giveaway, you might not, but regardless of that, we want to get you to that first deal and many beyond that. So that's what the challenges look like, and is going to look like for these 30 days. Now let's do that first giveaway. We've been talking enough about this. Hopefully they're on here today. If not, hey, you won. Regardless, we're going to be reaching out over email. I do want to preface this with, Jericho, do you want to talk about kind of that little special deal that you guys, negotiated with us and set up for your people too? Like those 5
absolutely.
accounts?
Yep.
Yeah.
So absolutely. So if you guys are part of the academy, what I've done is we went ahead and partnered up with Deal Machine even further to try and get you guys a better discount deal on the challenge. And so what we've done is we've agreed to at least for the first 5 people to turn in their homework. So that means last week's homework as well. Matt will be emailing you guys after later today, who those top 5 are to be. And then those top 5 people are going to be getting, instead of a 7-day free trial, it's going to be for the full 30 days. So you guys can, obviously jump on board here with the challenge alongside us. And then there's just only one caveat to that. It's just to make sure that you guys are turning in your homework each and every single week. If you guys are not turning in that homework, then we may decide to give that, that free trial to somebody else who has been turning in that homework. So as long as you guys can turn in your homework each and every single week, means that you guys are taking actions on the things that we're talking about each and every single week, then you guys should, still be able to have access to that. But yeah. That looks like it's all frozen. Is that just me? Uh-oh. All right, you guys, can you guys still hear me? Did Matt get booted? I think he did. Frozen, but you guys can hear me, right? Let me hear it in the chat. All right, Ryan, appreciate you, my man. So let me go ahead and reach out to Matt. Looks like he got booted off his own webinar jam. That's crazy. All right, he's coming back on. But yeah, if you guys have any questions about that whatsoever, it is only for the Academy members. I wanted to make sure to get you guys a special promo, for, being in and taking that action. So we want to be able to see that from you guys. So as long as you guys can submit the homework, it means, and you're showing us that you are doing the challenge. That's all that matters. So there we go. There's Matt.
He's back. I'm back. Okay. The news was too much for the video to handle. Love that, Mark. All right, cool. Can you guys hear me now, hopefully?
Yep.
Okay, fantastic. Let me share my screen here again for you guys. Yeah, for whatever reason, my internet cut out there. So yeah, it was too much for the internet to handle. All right, Jericho, were you sorry to cut you off there. Did you finish up?
Yeah, all good. I did finish up with everybody else here. And yeah.
Fantastic. Awesome. So again, we will notify you tonight if you were one of those 5 lucky people. Well, not even lucky. You were the 5 action takers, right? Like you went out there and you made this happen. You put this in your own hands. So you earned that. So we always want to give you guys as much special treatment as possible, like coming from Kong, coming from Jericho and the whole WTM just community in general. We want to help you as much as possible. So those 5 people, you'll get an entire month free throughout this whole challenge. And throughout this as well, like, again, you can use Deal Machine. We make, our goal with the technology is to make this as easy and time effective as possible. We want to save you as much time as possible, save you as much marketing budget as possible too, when you're reaching out to leads here, by giving you kind of the playbook to be as successful as possible with the least amount of dollars needed. But that being said, like, hey, try it out for 7 days. If you love it, awesome. We would love to help you continue to go find deals with us. If not, you can do this by hand as well. And continue to execute on the homework and the playbook that we give you here. And again, those 5 lucky people 5 action takers, we will be giving that free month, and I'll let you know tonight if you're on that list. So cool, fantastic. Now to give away this free entire year Deal Machine starter. You're going to get Deal Machine, all of the tech that we show off today, $100 free in your account already. So that way it's going to cover a lot of the marketing we talk about today. Like, how do you skip trace and reach out to people? How do you send mail to people? How do you door knock? How do you, all these different strategies we're going to be going over today. All of that'll be included for a year for this person. So week 1 winner. Oh, here's the homework again. Sorry. You completed the homework. This winner was again, building a list of 100 leads, which, we've been talking about in that first entire week. Again, we'll be recapping that today on how to do this. I'll do a quick recap, but watch the replay if you want to get a real deep dive on how to do that. Here's the week 1 giveaway winner. Week 1 giveaway winner, drum roll please, Brittany Estrella. So congratulations, Brittany. I don't know if you're on here. I can try to search for your name here, but if not, then hey, you're going to be getting an email from us regardless. Brittany, if you're in here, say in the chat and say woohoo. But you're going to hear from us. Congrats, Brittany. Awesome job completing the homework. You overachieved as well. I can't remember how many leads you submitted, but it was over 100. So awesome job. Again, we're going to be giving away another $800 plus prize for everybody for this week. So by the end of this, we're going to find out a way to enter for that. If you didn't win today, there we go. Brittany Suarez. Okay, awesome. For my email, you came through as Brittany Estrella. So Brittany Suarez. Okay, awesome. There we go. Whoop, whoop. Fantastic. Congrats, Brittany. Again, this week, we're going to be giving out homework again one more time for you guys. We're going to keep challenging you, keep pushing you. The reason why we set 100 leads is because, and I mentioned this last week, that's a magic number that we see where when you hit that 100 lead mark, you are highly likely to stick with this. You are highly likely to understand the processes, really get down the motions of, understanding what you're looking for, how to build a great list, how to look for what is a qualified lead, right? And now this week, we're going to show you how to take action on those leads. We're going to really be talking through how to use that list and be able to start reaching out to sellers, start having conversations, and start doing deals. So we'll be talking that through today. I love to have Jericho chime in throughout as well if he has tips on marketing and sales and that first conversation with people. But I'll start off with a quick recap, and then we'll wrap it all up with that kind of week 2 homework assignment, and make sure you guys know how to win that next giveaway, for everybody else here. So, maiden name is Estrella. Okay, cool, Brittany. Perfect. Well, congratulations regardless. But, all right. Is there anything I missed there, Jericho? Did you have anything else you wanted to add?
No, all good from my end.
Perfect, man.
Congrats, by the way. That was well-deserved. That was something that we were actually it was in our last Zoom session. She was just like, dude, I did more than 100. I went above and beyond at 196. I didn't realize that was the same Brittany, so that was well-deserved.
That's so awesome. There we go. Love that. Good work, Brittany. Cool. So I will jump into this again. The magic number we set last week was 100. The magic number overall, which you'll see with this challenge, we get you to this number, is 300 leads. And that is the magic number of, on average, when we look at, nationwide data, how many leads does it take to get to a deal? How many leads does it take where you're consistently marketing to those leads? And first of all, they need to be qualified leads. They need to be driving for dollars leads. This isn't just you pulling some list and then reaching out to those. That's going to be significantly more numbers, 4 or 5 times that, which is why it's so much more costly to land a deal that way, because you're going to have to market to all of those leads, right? But if you're getting very targeted, very exact, you're finding leads that you have earned because you've gone out there, you've driven around, you've looked for rundown houses, you've looked for the houses with, the tarp on the roof, the gutters falling off, a mess in the front yard, the backyard. It's really, really, really obvious stuff, boarded up windows, broken windows, or some less obvious stuff as well. I used this example last time, but one of our first hires, he found a house that had Halloween decorations up, and it was 6 months later, it was March. So things like that, indicators that, hey, for whatever reason, this might be a tired landlord. This might be somebody who just doesn't want to deal with this property anymore. This might be vacant, whatever, you're looking for a house that is in disrepair. And when you have 300 of those qualified leads and you consistently market to them, that on average is going to equal your first deal. Now, if you're in a more competitive market, again, going to be higher than that. If you're in a less competitive market, it's going to be lower than that. But that being said, on average as a whole, you're looking for about 300 leads to a deal. So that's where this homework's coming from. That's where the teaching's coming from, is from looking at the data. And again, you hit 100 leads last week. You're on a great clip. You're on a great pace. If you have not hit that yet, that's okay. You've got time to catch up. You've got time to, again, we're going to challenge you. We're going to give you more homework. We're going to help you build on that. And in the end, it's a numbers game. It's about filling the top of the pipeline with a high number of leads, and then market to those leads consistently. So we'll show off today, again, one more time, how to find that list, how to build that list initially. And then after that, okay, the deep dive training today is going to be on how to market to those leads, how to have that first conversation with a seller here. So showing this off inside Deal Machine for you guys here. We covered this last time again, but I'll go quick and brief here. When you start off, you've got the drive tab right here. That's where I'm located. I'm looking at the map. You can look at it grid view like this with a bunch of dots everywhere. You can toggle it on a satellite view. A lot of people like that, where you can see the actual houses themselves and the black dots popping up over each individual house. But regardless of which view you're looking at, the key here is that you are looking, again, for physical distress. So as you drive down the street, again, this is the desktop version, obviously. You're going to have the mobile app as well to pair with this. So if you're driving down the street physically in the real world, you're going to be taking the mobile app with you. It's going to lock onto your location. So if I'm driving down, Dartmouth Avenue right here, let me get some dots popping up. I'm driving down Dartmouth Avenue right here. The dot that pops up is going to be me, lock onto my location. And as I drive down the street, it's going to come down with me. And I'm going to be looking around in real life for physically distressed, rundown houses. Now, one really cool thing with the app, may or may not have mentioned this last week, if you point the app at that house, the data that I'm going to show you here in a second, it will also pop up on the mobile app like that too. So we're making it really easy for you to identify in real life and match you to the map on here, what house I'm looking at, what house I want to pull up data for. But as I look around, I'll be able to see, hey, I've got 7029 Dartmouth right here. If I see it's run down in real life, I point my phone at it. I click on it on the app. I can look at more info about that property. I can look at data around like sale date and price. This one in St. Louis can be a little bit iffy here in terms of incomplete data, but you can see, bed, bath, year built, square footage. You'll want to look and see, hey, what data do I have to work with right here? But regardless of that data, that's a kind of a good secondary qualifier to figure out, hey, is this a property that's got higher equity? Is this a property that's vacant? Is it absentee owned? Is it what's the property owner type? Is it owned by a corporation? Like you can see, and you can do a little bit of digging there to help you determine if it's a good lead. But first and foremost, no matter what, if it is a rundown property, regardless of what the data says, add that lead. Like that is what we're looking for. That is the number one indicator of a motivated seller. You're finding leads that way that won't just pop up on any kind of list that you're building. You can't just go pull a list of leads and say, hey, show me all the houses that are run down, or show me, you're finding data that is not easily accessible otherwise. So, in other situations, you go on, you could use any other outside resource to get a list. You can even use, we have List Builder inside Deal Machine as well, where you can quickly pull a list of vacant properties or absentee owned properties or a lot of these quick hit properties. But the whole point of this strategy is that you're finding the best leads out there because they are physically distressed. That is the number one thing. You've earned that list. You're finding the diamonds in the rough that aren't just going to pop up on every other list out there. So that means they're way less competitive and they're just more motivated sellers. So I would start there. Again, driving around in real life, you're going to be a little blue dot. As you drive down the street, you'll see your route is going to be tracked right here. It's going to be a little green tail following you down the street. And, that turns yellow at 6 months. It turns red at 12 months. So, I would say hey, these are all, this is a great way to kind of visualize on the map where you've driven, where you're driving next, or where you should drive next, and just help you kind of blanket entire neighborhoods, entire areas. So use that route tracking to your benefit there. You'll see these little blue dots pop up as well. These, for the sake of this challenge, I'd probably ignore those blue dots and not add them. But it just means, hey, they've had a MLS status within the last 12 months. You can see this one was on market for 194 days, sold last April. Here's the listing agent. You can see all kinds of contact info there. So, these blue dots are properties that have had an MLS status, again, have been listed on market recently. We have MLS data for every single state as well. That could be non-disclosure states, the Texases, the Carolinas, all that stuff. Like, if regardless, we have the sold data. And then, as you're driving down the street, again, you're adding leads, you're clicking hit add lead, boom, there. To do it more quickly, you can actually go into the map options button and go to the map mode right here and select tap to add mode. And that just means that when you go to pin a property, when you go to add a lead, it doesn't even give you the option to view the data. You just move on to the next one. So if you're driving down the street, if you're in an area that's got a ton of these properties that are really qualified leads, then hey, drive down the street, tap to add, click on each of these, and boom, 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 you're going to be going through the map and just adding leads very quickly. So that's a great option if you're looking to get to that 100 number, you're trying to catch up, and you are in an area that's really, really qualified. Go down the street with tap to add, and you can knock this out really, really quickly. Two more pro tips when you add a lead. I would highly recommend tagging the lead, which we'll talk about that today of why that matters. But if, say I'm adding this lead, corporate owned lead right here, I would hit add tag. And, on the desktop version, it looks like this, but on the mobile app, it's really obvious. It pops up right in front of you to hit add tag. And you can actually customize these tags to say whatever you want. I highly recommend a high priority tag where you hit that, and also level of distress tag. So say, hey, this is a really distressed property, therefore it's high priority. It's one that, is an area that I really like, or what have you. And we're going to go through, today, what you can do with those tags, why those tags matter, why that helps you kind of prioritize your outreach and spend your marketing time as efficiently as possible. So, viewing the data, adding a tag, adding that lead, also going in there. And if you take a picture of the property, if you're driving by and say right here, I want to add 7057 Dartmouth right here, hit add lead, you'll see a little camera icon pop up on the mobile app, and it'll say, hey, take a picture of this property, or would you like to? That picture, part of what we're going to talk about today with marketing, that picture is going to increase your response rate, because when you take a picture, the picture that you take is going to appear on the postcard that you send them. So this follow-up mail, this picture right here is going to be the picture that you took, and that's going to give you roughly doubles your response rate of the seller paying attention to your postcard and reaching back out to you. So I recommend, again, drive around. It's going to be tracking your route. You're looking at black dots around you. You're hitting add lead. You're using tap to add mode if you want to go quick. You're tracking your route. You're tagging those leads. You're adding pictures to those leads, doing all that stuff. You're setting yourself up for success. Two last things on the map to go over here, and then I'll take a few questions, then we'll jump into the actual training today. But the highlight button, this one is for our pro level member and up. The highlights button, that is an awesome way to use data to overlay onto the map and help guide you beyond just the physical distress. Now, physical distress, again, that's what you're looking for. First and foremost, you want to run down houses when, is a qualified lead for you. But you can also click on highlights and use our thousands of data points. You can look at, recent sale dates. You can look at, mortgage information, MLS info, all that here, property information, property type, owner type, vacancy, lien information, assumable mortgages, all kinds of stuff like that. And we also have a bunch of quick list highlights right here, where if you click on that, you can say, hey, yeah, just show me show me the hot neighborhoods nearby. And that means, properties that have sold recently. And you can see, I've had quite a few transactions within the last 2 months in this little neighborhood. This could be a hot area to focus on. Or, hey, let me clear this and look at vacant properties nearby. Cool. I'll click on that for you guys here, apply that filter. And, when I do that, you'll see those start to pop up here for you. And, hey, I've got, as I drive around, I can see all these vacant properties popping up nearby. So it's a great way to kind of overlay data on the map for you while you're actually driving around and help you further qualify the area you're driving in and those individual leads that you're adding. So highly recommend being able to put those two things together. Ryan, love that you're enjoying the highlights feature. That's awesome, man. It's definitely one that can even go underutilized by people. So definitely recommend that. Last thing here, actually, let me give you two things. One is you can add drivers if you're on our pro level and up as well. So if you go click on your picture, go to team, you can add drivers right there. So I've got like Elliot, for example, in here. And, a driver on your account, they can just add leads with you or for you. That's an awesome way to kind of supercharge your list building strategy right here. It also tracks the routes of your drivers. So if you click on drives and look at all of your past routes, you can also look and see like, hey, what are all my past routes by Elliot here? Here are the 4 leads that he added, back in March 4th. Drove nearly a mile for 11 minutes, added these 4 leads. Here's where he drove. Here are the leads. Cool. And really help you kind of manage your drivers that way and figure out like, hey, how can we be, driving really strategically between me and anyone else on my account? So that add drivers feature, really useful if you're going to be on our pro level membership and up as well. And then the final thing I want to show you guys here is this start driving button. This unlocks your virtual driving for dollars, which I know that way. I've done a past masterclass on that before. I don't know if anyone on here was in that, but virtual driving for dollars is an opportunity to be able to, again, as we talked about early on in this call with a couple of those case studies, it's an opportunity to be able to invest anywhere, anytime. Do it from your couch. You can do it on your phone. You can use a VA to do it. You can, invest across the world. You can invest, in a different market that you're not physically located in. Like there are many use cases for this. Maybe you have a day job and it's hard to get out during the day, or maybe you are in a place where the weather is terrible. We had people with snow last week, stuff like that. So hitting this start driving button and then clicking on anywhere on the map and hitting start driving. This is going to do everything you would do in real life of driving around, tracking your route, being able to tag leads, being able to look at the physical distress level of those properties, being able to use this as a way to click for dollars essentially. And if you're doing that, very similar, you look at a house here. Let me come up here. You look at a house, you can look at more data, more information about that particular property. You can hit add lead and you can move on to the next one. So just like you would in real life, hey, do that virtual driving as a potential, other option to continue to build that list, to continue to execute on this homework. So I will mention on the virtual driving, make sure to compare when that photo was taken. So you got May 2022 right here to the last sale date, so you got, July 2021. So that way, that, hey, this house has not been sold since that photo was taken, and that what you're looking at is likely the condition of the property as well. So that's the one pro tip I want to give, if you're going to go this route. So and here you go. Here's a route summary. You've got, the lead you added, the route you drove, and you can do that just like you would have in the real world. So that's kind of the quick catch up of last week. Want to give you guys a crash course there. Jericho, have you seen any good questions coming through that you want me to address right now? Or
there's a couple here. There's Ryan had a good question. Is there a way to change the colors that are on the map to identify the properties? I'm assuming something that he can customly choose from.
Unfortunately, no. You have just general highlights, and you've got the route tracking colors. There isn't any customizability beyond that. But if you have a specific request to that, feel free to reach out to me direct. My email is just matt@dealmachine.com, which I'll throw that in the chat for you guys too. That is, in general, like we're always evolving the product based on your guys' feedback on what you'd love to have in there. And we have a feature upvote even inside the app as well. So would love to hear more on like exactly what you're looking for. But
and the next question here is, let me see. How do you find free and clear property homes on the highlight feature?
Yeah, I mean, you can go in here. let's see, we've got a highlights button. Hold on, let me clear this. You can search by, all kinds of stuff. So you can search by equity. So 100% equity, you can search by mortgage information, and you've got a lot of data to work with there. So, if you're looking at mortgage amount, you could put that at 0. You could put equity at 100%. You could put, no lien. There's a lot of different kind of like individual things, not just free and clear in general, but get really specific on all those qualifiers. I've seen a lot of other technologies and things out there that will generally bucket things into free and clear, even if they're not quite sure, it just might trigger one of those things, where you can go in here and you can layer up your data and say, hey, can you create highlight and show me a property that has, a mortgage, let's see here, mortgage amount that is, that is less than, or let's see here, is less than or equal to 0, confirm that, and is a property that doesn't have or it's got equity percentage is greater than or equal to 100, and you can keep getting really, really specific and be able to kind of make sure that you're looking at properties that are truly free and clear. So
yeah, the rest of these questions, man, I think could wait till
cool.
After. Awesome. I think for the most part, those were the ones specific to what we were just covering.
Fantastic. Awesome. And the difference between highlights and list builder is highlights will show it on the map, where list builder, you can actually download that list of leads and act on that list of leads. So list builder is the one add-on inside Deal Machine. If you want to upgrade to list builder, we got that option for you guys too. But again, like this challenge and the goals we set are all around driving for dollars, because those leads are the best bang for your buck. So cool. Awesome. Well, that's what I've got there going into today's training. So again, our goal today is to really show you what is the marketing approach that is going to set you up for the highest chance of getting a response and getting in touch with these sellers and doing that first deal. So to start with, I would say first and foremost, the secret sauce, right, to separate from the competition is follow-up. The follow-up, your efficiency and follow-up, your effectiveness and follow-up, your ability to stay top of mind with people, because, you might have the perfect lead. You might have the exact person you're trying to get in front of. I talked about this briefly last week, but, just because you have the great lead doesn't mean that you're the one that's getting the call back, or you're the one that's going to do that deal, because, hey, you need to be in front of them at the right place, at the right time, and be the one that they think of when they're ready to sell. So to put yourself in the best position possible to do that, we highly, highly recommend what we call a creative marketing mix. We call it a two-pronged approach. So, people are going to respond differently to different methods, right? Like someone's going to answer, they might answer a text, but not a call. They might answer a postcard, but not a door knock. They might answer, whatever your outreach is, a Facebook ad, or what have you, like, hey, an email. Like some people are going to respond differently to different things. To give yourself the best chance of, being able to get on their radar, highly recommend this two-pronged marketing approach. So the first prong is short-term marketing. So short-term marketing outreach, which we really categorize as one-to-one, finite, hey, I reach out and there's no residual value. There's no follow-up beyond that. It's me hustling, getting out there and, getting in touch with someone directly. And, that's not as scalable, but man, it does work. And I would call, a door knock, a door hanger, a call, a text, even really an email, like these things that are one-to-one outreach, putting a sticky note on the door, stuff like that. That is kind of your short-term one-to-one outreach. How you can do that inside Deal Machine, we do have a skip trace button. So, again, as you go around, as you add leads, you hit add lead right here for any individual property you're looking at. When you click on that property, you'll see a skip trace button right here. You can also find it, this leads tab is where all of your leads are going, right? And, this is on the desktop as well as the mobile. If I add on either or, they all go to the same place. They all build right here. You're building your list right here. I've got, 15,000 leads right here. Each individual lead, you can click on view lead and you can one-off skip trace that way. You can also do this in bulk. So you can select all on the page, or I could select all 15,000 and then go to lead actions and skip trace leads right there. So you've got a lot of options on how to get in touch with this person, or how to get contact information for this person. But the idea of skip tracing, and really where the term comes from, is actually, I don't even know, Jericho, you might not know this, but it's when people, a PI, a private investigator, was looking for somebody who was skipping town, missing their court date. That's where the term skip trace comes from. And so it's going in, pinging public records there, skip tracing, pulling back phone numbers, potential phone numbers, email addresses, mailing addresses, like contact information for that individual owner. And when you skip trace somebody inside Deal Machine, you're going to do that one off and be able to get this contact info to be able to reach out and follow through with that call, with that text, with that email, anything like that, to be able to reach out one-to-one. So this first prong is short-term marketing outreach. Start with skip tracing. Start with there to get in touch with them. I also highly recommend, if you're going to door knock, like if you're going to, we might have people in here that are willing to do that. And if you're not, or if it's going to be uncomfortable for you, that's okay. That's a good thing. You're going to learn if you push yourself. Like, door knocking is a phenomenal way to get in front of these people. I would highly recommend using our Drive This List feature if you're on our pro level membership as well, where, if you have a list that, say, for example, you have any outside list, anything that you've built before, or you've got any other technology you've used, or you've got our list builder and you're building lists that way, you can open that list, pop that open. You've got, 62 leads here. I pulled this list with my list builder here a little bit ago, March 23rd. And you'll see this Drive This List button right here. So if you're going to actually go out and, door knock it, or leave sticky notes on the door, or kind of do the pros of getting out there and being in person, the Drive This List feature is going to be super, super helpful to help with that, where if you hit Drive This List, it's going to import GPS into the Deal Machine app and tell you and say, hey, I've got 62 properties. It's going to take you 3 hours and 27 minutes to get to those. And here's the exact route to go. Drive here, turn here. And it'll GPS guide you to the most efficient way possible to drive all these properties. So if you have any outside list, if you are creating lists that wasn't purely driving for dollars, if you have it from anywhere, you can actually import those leads right here too into Deal Machine if it's from an outside source, and then hit Drive This List and mark it that way. So all of those things, the skip tracing, the Drive This List, all of that, the call, text, email, door knock, all of that, that is under short-term marketing, and I would start there. Now, if you want to figure out, like, where do I spend my time? Who do I contact first? If you remember that tagging feature that you were doing, you can actually filter by tags. So you can go into here, hit filter, and say, hey, yeah, let me create a filter. Let me do tags and show high priority tags, confirm, apply. And now I've got 80 leads that I marked as high priority. This is where I should start. I have 15,000 leads, but these 80 are high priority for one reason or another. Let me call these people first. Let me text them first. Let me try to spend my time, my one-to-one time, reaching out to this list first. So highly recommend using the tags for that reason. Starting with the skip trace, starting with the direct outreach, starting with going out there and doing the short-term marketing outreach. Now, I mentioned this is a two-pronged approach, right? And then you want to have a really good mix of things going, and that the follow-up is really where the secret sauce is. So if you have tried, say you called somebody, you texted them, you door knocked them, ideally you're referring to each of those things. Like, you door knocked, didn't get a hold of them, you left a sticky note on the door, then you called them and said, hey, I stopped by earlier, was wondering, if and kind of like open up the conversation that way. If you leave a voicemail, hey, text them, say, hey, I came by earlier and gave you a call, I was trying to get a hold of you. The familiarity between those touch points of just saying that, hey, I've tried to reach out in a variety of ways, that alone will actually increase your response rate. It builds a little more familiarity with this person. So it's a funny psychological, that's something when we look at the data, like, connecting those different things is going to help you. So try to do that with your one-to-one outreach, but to be able to follow up consistently and stay top of mind and get in front of them and be right place, right time, using the power of technology, the power of automation, can go a very, very long way. So this is where David, I talked about this last week, this is where he really dropped the ball initially, is he would send out a postcard to an owner and just not really follow through, not follow up, not do it enough times. And when we look at the data, again, it's going to be roughly 85% of the time you're going to miss out on a deal if you only send one touch point to them. And still, if you only do 3 touch points, you're still missing out 52% of the time on that deal. So if you're able to figure out a way to set it and forget it and not have to worry about that property, but just be able to market them consistently over time, that's going to put you in a very, very good place to be able to be the one that gets that call back. So if you're skip tracing, you're reaching out to them, awesome. The next step is hit the start mail button if you haven't got a hold of them yet. And it'll say right away, hey, here's what your postcard is going to look like. Here's exactly what it's going to look like. If you drove around and you took a picture of the property, that picture is going to appear on the postcard right here. So that's going to be right there. It's going to show you, hey, here's the front, here's the back. You can actually go in and use automation to say, hey, send them a postcard every 21 days, or, that's our default, but you can adjust that. And then send 6 total pieces. You can come in and adjust that as well based on your sequence that you create. But you can be really, really, aggressive, go for 21 days or even less. You can back off a little bit. We highly recommend at least around once a month. So, if you're going to be less aggressive, maybe every 5-6 weeks is still okay. But as close to once a month as you can, put that in there. And you'll see, hey, on March 29th, they're going to get this one. On April 19th, they're going to get this one. May 10th, they'll get that one. And you can go in here and change the template to mix it up a little bit. So you can say, hey, I want to send this postcard here. I want to send, I'm going to put them on this sequence. You can get, you can choose from 10 different, about 9 or 10 different default templates inside Deal Machine that are actually all set up to give you success. Like Ryan Haywood, for example, Jericho, like the guy we've been talking about at the beginning here, who's done hundreds of deals. He uses these default templates. So these default templates are set up for success. We've seen people do, again, over 10,000 deals using Deal Machine, and these templates are what they're relying on. So you can go in here and use one of those, or you can come and create your own inside this mail tab up here. So, again, we showed off, Drive is the map, leads are where all of your leads are going, where your list is building. The mail tab right here is where you can go in and kind of manage your mailers. So you can, if you're going to send out all this mail and say, hey, send every 6 weeks or every 3 weeks, awesome. But make sure you go in here to figure out, hey, how much mail am I sending this month? How much have I sent? How much do I have scheduled? How much am I going to spend? What about next month? I'm going to spend, $18 and send 25 pieces of mail. The next month it'll tell me, hey, I'm going to send $33 and $23. Like, I can go in here and really focus on kind of tracking my mail, budgeting for my mail. I can see when it's been sent. Has it been delivered? Is it in transit? Was it returned to sender? What is the condition of that particular, like, where is that mail piece? And then when you go to the postcard tab right here, this is where you can go customize the particular design, like edit the design, be able to set postcards as your default first choice, change the sizing, put in ballpoint letters like that. That's an awesome one where you can actually go in and create a letter that's handwritten by a robot, a ballpoint letter handwritten there. It's more expensive, but also going to get you a higher response rate. So all of this stuff in terms of messing with the mail, the designs, experiment with that. We don't want to make it hard on you. We want to make it easy to just set it and forget, hit send mail and move on to the next one. So you don't have to spend a ton of time on this, but as you get better at this, as you do more of this, as you get more leads, as you spend more on marketing, because it's equaling, it's investment in landing deals, make sure to kind of mess around with your mail templates and sizing and design and sequences, which sequences just means like you can send mail where you're sending, different types of postcards and switching that up to that seller. So you can mess with all this stuff in the mail center here as you can get more and more advanced, but it boils down to building a great list, marketing to that list in this 2-pronged approach of skip tracing and mailing, and do that consistently, do that follow-up, use the power of technology if you can to follow up more and more over time, and you're putting yourself in a really good position to go do deals. So Jericho, I know I gave a ton of information there. Do you want to add anything there on the marketing front, or any thoughts on like pro tips there?
There it is. You should be able to hear me now.
Now,
I just want to emphasize on what Matt was saying, and this is something that we talk about in the academy as well, is being on top of mind, right, through follow-ups and what we do. And so some of the things that we talked about, if you're not in the academy, here's a little pro tip for you. Just being here on the live with us today, little gold nugget, is something that we call personally in my department niche my niche department, we call this first to market. And essentially it's just what Matt was talking about, right? When we first reach out to a prospect, what we're going to do is we're going to be calling them. That's one touch. And then if we notice that this, this phone number is a mobile phone number, we're also going to be sending them a text. And then we're also going to be leaving them a voicemail. So we only do this in our top priority records, just like our driving for dollar records, just like our stacked records that are 4+. I mean, this is only just for our very, very fine list. And so we're really taking the time to nurture each and every single one of these because we want to really get a hold of them, right? Because they have a high motivation, right? Whether their property is, stacked with multiple different pain points, whether we're driving for dollars and finding that these properties are in distress physically. And so what we want to do is we want to do per reach. Again, we're going to call them. That's one reach. Mobile phone number, we're going to go ahead and shoot them a text. And then, we're also going to be leaving them a voicemail as well. So that's 3 different ways to try and get in front of that seller. And guess what? On top of what Matt was just saying, you can even go ahead and spend, because you guys get, I don't know what the dollar amount is, but you guys get some marketing spend. Yeah, $40. I mean, that's plenty for you to just to hit that button, send the mail, and then do those 3 touches. Now you have an even better percentage of being able to reach that prospect. So I just wanted to touch base on that. And then obviously if they don't respond that day, we're going to go ahead and follow up the next day. And it's just a matter of follow up. The overall industry standard, and it may be different now, but it's usually about about the 7th attempt before you actually get a reach, before you actually reach the prospect. But doing these 3 different ways, doing 3 different touches per reach is going to get you there even faster. So I only need one person to implement what I just mentioned, and I promise you guys will get the results.
Love
it. That's just my input.
So quick question for you as well. Maybe not as quick, but you could do an entire, obviously you guys put out a lot of great content on this as well. But when you reach out to somebody and you are skip tracing or sending a postcard and they call you back, can you kind of break down what are some of those initial questions? Like, how do you have that initial conversation with a seller? I know we're going to touch on this next week as well as part of the training, but with the homework, people are going to start to have these conversations, start to get the reps in, start to get used to talking to people. So can you maybe talk through a little bit of like, hey, what should that first conversation look like with the seller?
Absolutely. So what we like to try and do is we just like to try and gather, no matter what conversation it is, whether it's somebody calling you in, whether we're calling somebody out, we want to gather the 4 main pillars. And what those 4 main pillars are going to be is they're going to be their timeline, their condition of their property, and their motivation of wanting to sell, and also their price point, right? So a couple of different ways that we like to go about this is, if you're in the academy, we already have the script already built out for you. If you guys have invested into the coursework and in your education, you guys also have that as well. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and have just a few different questions that you guys can ask, and I'll send that over to Matt to send over to you guys via email. So that way you guys just have some sort of a guideline on what different ways and how to ask these different questions to try and get those 4 pillars. But yeah, that's really the goal, is to try and gather the 4 main pillars. So awesome. That way we can go back, do the research on the property, and then make an offer on the second call.
Love it, man. Yeah. And I mean, you guys put out so much good stuff there. So definitely default to their scripts, their guidance on having that first conversation and really asking questions around those 4 main pillars. Let's see what I can do here. I know we're going to go into assigning the homework. I'll go through that homework. I'll give you, again, this is what you need to complete to be able to go through, be able to qualify for this next week's giveaway. Try to keep pace here. If you have not done the first week of homework, that's okay. You're going to really hustle this week to be able to do that. But this is when things get really, really exciting. Like this is when, again, when you have that first 100 leads and you build on top of that and you start to have conversations with sellers, like you're going to get used to this more and more. You're going to start to get reps in, start to have, real conversations to go do that first deal. And again, default to their templates, default to their questions that Jericho just shared with you to be able to execute on and understand like what to talk to people about. But once I go through the homework and the giveaway, I'll go through the chat and the Q&A for you guys and stick around here because I know we're coming up on time for you. So what I'll mention, week 2, you know the drill, just like you did last week, add another 100 driving for dollars leads, which hopefully, especially if you've been through that first training twice now, hopefully you picked up a few pro tips. We'll give out the replay again tomorrow morning for you guys, but hopefully you picked up a few more pro tips to go quickly, to be able to be as effective as possible, to use the route tracking, to use, the tap to add, to tag those properties, know how to market to them. So that's our goal, is to get to 200 leads total. And then, hey, let's complete at least one form of marketing to each of these leads. Let's try to send a text, or if you're out driving around and you're going to door knock, do that. Leave a sticky note, leave a door hanger, give them a call. If you can spend, knock that time out in an afternoon. If you're going to send mail, awesome. Put on that mail sequence. Like, we give you as much, $40 worth of free stuff to be able to skip trace all of those leads actually for free, and then be able to follow up with them, in everything we taught you today. Follow that script and really talk through, really start to have conversations with people and kind of, build momentum from there. So that's your goal for week 2 is, same thing as week 1, and then act on those leads, reach out to them, be able to follow through and do this in a way that, hey, you're getting out there and starting to learn. And again, as you have these conversations, I've been talking about this next week too. We want to give you permission. It's okay to say, I don't know, to a seller. You're going to be going through this. You're new to this. You're learning. You're going to learn through things like this, where if you say, hey, I don't know, let me get back to you in 24 hours, or I don't know, let me ask my partner, you can go back. You've got that Discord channel. You've got all of these resources here at your disposal. Lead with action first. Put yourself in these situations, get the reps in, and be able to come back and learn over time. And worst case scenario, the answer is no from a seller, and hey, you're where you are right now, but you're even in a better spot now because you've faced that no, you've got that rep in, you are learning as you go. And I just want to give you that permission to. It's a limiting belief for a lot of people. They feel like they need to know everything before they get out there and start doing this. I would say the thing that we see over and over again that leads to success is defaulting to action. So get out there and try to knock out this second week of homework. So again, for the people who do finish this homework and submit it, we're going to be doing a giveaway on, this week as well. It's going to be due same time, same place next week. Like, we're going to be doing a live training. So before then, if you submit it, you're going to be part of that drawing. Brittany, congratulations again. You won this week. We're going to have somebody else in week 2 win the $800 prize, be able to get out there and win that. And just a reminder, if you're going to actually, be using Deal Machine to help you out with any of this stuff, the 2 special bonuses we give you through this is, hey, you get to try us out for 7 days free. Ideally, like, hey, hopefully you've been trying us out, following along right now. Hopefully you see the value here and, invest in yourself, using technology. If not, hey, you've also can do this by hand. You can also, do this, the old fashioned way and build your list with your pen and paper and things. But it's dealmachine.com/WTM. Make sure to go through that link, because that's going to give you $40 free in the app. All those free skip traces and postcards will be, comped on us through this. Again, we're going to select 5 of you. The first 5 that did the homework last week, I'm going to go through and notify you tonight to say, hey, you got a month free on us. So if you're on the free trial right now, and you were one of the first 5, then hey, we're going to make sure that you are going to get that first entire 30 days, this whole thing free, as long as you keep up with the homework, as long as you keep executing and using the tool. And we want to give it to somebody who's going to really take action on this stuff. So dealmachine.com/WTM. If you're going to do it for a full year, if you're like, hey, yeah, I'm committed to this, I'm making a change, I'm not just doing this for a couple of months, but I want to do this for a full year. This deal is the best deal that you can get through, don't go through our website, go through dealmachine.com/D4D challenge. And that'll give you all of Deal Machine Pro for a year, which that alone is almost $1,200 typically. It's like all the map features, all the mail features, 3 drivers, the plan, the drive this list feature, all the highlights, all that stuff. You get List Builder, which, like I mentioned, the challenge today is really focused on driving for dollars, but this month, but List Builder is also really powerful to kind of supplement those leads and help you pull lists in addition to driving for dollars. And if you pull lists, then you can drive that list, right, and not door knock it and get in front of them that way. It's going to give you the $40 free in marketing, and all of that together would normally be over $1,800. You'll get that for just $990, so 45% off. So if you're going to go that route, if you're going to invest in a full year, make sure to go through this D4D challenge link rather than just through our site. So I'll leave this up. Here's the 2 QR codes. You can scan those. At the bottom, you see Deal Machine Challenge /WTM. dealmachine.com/D4D challenge. All that's laid out for you there, so that way you can take advantage of that. But happy to take questions, man, and stick around and get people excited to knock out this coming week of homework.
Absolutely, man. Let's go ahead and just do a fire. I'm just going to fire right at you.
Do it.
And is it recommended to market out to leads that are bank owned?
Yeah, I mean, I think, Jericho, do you have anything you teach for people, especially kind of the foreclosure process and things? Like, what do you guys kind of advise there?
As far as pre-foreclosure, absolutely. Those are going to be a great motivation for, us to go after. But after they've been foreclosed on, some of the things that we've found, especially with bank-owned already properties, is that one, they already have an auction date, which makes it a lot harder for us to, actually go and, wholesale this property. Because in banks, most banks, they typically have a clause where you actually can't resell that property for, X amount of period. So overall, once the bank gets ownership, back, it's a lot harder to, for us to make that make sense. But prior, pre-foreclosure during, it's a great opportunity if you can, tell the seller, hey, this is going to happen if you don't take action on it. But most of the time, what we've noticed is these guys, these types of prospects, like to take action like the last minute. Mm-hmm. But as long as you can stay on top of mind, keep that follow up, good prospects to go after. Someone said, Andrea, what if the property is vacant? Fantastic, go after it.
That's what you're looking for.
And then they said, Ramona, why do I have a lock on my list builder?
It's probably List Builder. So List Builder is the one add-on, like I mentioned. So, Deal Machine is the drive tab, the leads tab, the mail. List Builder is the one upgrade to be if you want to go out and like pull a list, not do driving for dollars, but just use highlights to pull a list really quickly. That's an upgrade. So that's why it comes default locked unless you are trialing it. So
got it. And then Ryan also had a question, but I know we already covered it. Ryan, to modify the postcards, if you just want to rewatch this, this session, he covered it earlier. Someone says, how do you organize a list to drive? Last time I did this, it took me past many of the leads several times as opposed to going each by the closest ones.
Ryan, reach out to me direct. I know, so the drive this list feature, if that's what you're referring to, that it should be taking you turn by turn to each of those properties. One thing we've seen is you have to mark them completed once you have done that property. And if you don't, like, it might mess up the route a little bit there. So maybe that was what was going on, but we're here to help. So reach out to me direct. I shared my email earlier as well, just matt@dealmachine.com. And happy to help you out there, man. So.
Yep. And then the next question here is from Brenson. What if you can't get in touch with the owner and they live in another property? Would it be okay to knock on their home they're living in?
Yeah, if it's their primary residence, you can say, hey, basically you can inquire about another property that they own by contacting them directly. And that's absentee owned, like that, when you see that label, that's what you're doing there. I saw somebody else ask, let's see, if it's corporate owned, that can be similar too. Like it's owned by an LLC, so it's owned by a business. That means it could be a landlord. It could be a variety of different things, a trust. But I would say like, yeah, hey, if you have their primary residence and you're inquiring about another property they own, they might be looking to get to offload it. So hopefully that answers that.
Next question here is from Mark. Hi, Matt. When you skip trace, the program immediately contacts the person on the phone, correct? ? So we should do it on our phone through the app. Sorry for the two questions in one.
So when you skip trace, it comes back. I didn't do it just for privacy reasons, but when you skip trace, it comes back with phone numbers and email addresses for you. So it'll give you a list of them and it'll tell you what's the caller ID. Is it landline or mobile? Is it on the do not call list? Is it on the known litigators list? Like just a lot of premium skip trace data right there for you. Is it connected? Is it disconnected? And then it gives you a copy button for you to copy it and call it. So it doesn't call it right away for you. So you've got the option of when you hit skip trace, it's not going to ring the phone immediately. Like it'll give you a few options and then you can act on them.
Love it. And then Mohammed said he's from Pakistan. Yes, you can absolutely do this virtually. Yeah. Just build that network and wherever you're trying to do this at, and you'll have boots on the ground.
Yeah, like
question
I mentioned,
from Ramona.
we've had people all over the world doing deals, and it's, as long as you're doing the deal in the U.S., like if you can live wherever, but the properties themselves, we only have the U.S. data for the properties, then you're good to go. So,
yeah, love that. And then next question here is, how do you add tags? But I know we already covered that. Any markets in particular that you guys recommend for virtually driving for dollars?
I mean, depends on your strategy. Like, and here's the lead tags, by the way. So every individual lead, you've got them right here. And they also pop up right away in the mobile app when you add them. But depends on your strategy. If you're in a more competitive market with higher prices, like, it's going to be harder to do like a BRRRR strategy, a cash flow strategy. That's more like Midwest, I think, and smaller markets. But if you're a more competitive market, like the wholesale spread could be crazy big. Like you can make, do a 6-figure deal we've seen on a wholesale deal. So just depends on the market and what your strategy is. And if you're looking to wholesale, which is likely, in this group, I think, starting where you are physically based is always a great way to do this in person first. Like I typically recommend that, but, I think every market has its pros and cons. So what do you think, Jericho?
I'm right with you on that. I mean, there's a bunch of different markets that you can hop into. What we like to try to do is stick between a population anywhere from 100 to 500. Same thing with price points as well, because you want to be towards the medium price points so that buyers can get in, get out, instead of having to buy those properties that are in like the $800,000 range, which sometimes doesn't make sense for them. So it makes it a lot harder for these end buyers and flippers to get in. But being in the median price points, I think that's good. And then next question here is from Kathy. Which marketing strategy gives a better response rates, postcards or handwritten letters? My opinion, I think handwritten letters all day.
Absolutely. So handwritten works. So like, for example, inside Deal Machine, if you click on mail and then postcards, you've got, again, 4x6, 6x9, 6x11 and ballpoint letters. And then door hangers too, but ballpoint letters are the handwritten ones. And that's, again, it's written literally by a robot. It delivers it, in this envelope right here. So it looks like this when they open it. When they open it, it's handwritten right there. These are more expensive. These are going to be like, 2 to 3 times more expensive, but they also get a 2 to 3 time better response rate. So I would say like mix those in every so often. Don't only send those unless you're, really in a market that's going to be a big payoff, for a deal. But I would highly recommend mixing those in whenever possible, because that's going to get you a higher response rate. So.
Absolutely. Let me see. Mohammed Idris. No, this is not the first training. Last week was our first kickoff day. And the next question here is from Don Dean. I was trying to pull a list of 4 filters in all Las Vegas, and it's only letting me do a specific zip code, and I only got $36 of free money. Is that correct?
The $36 of free, I'm curious what that would be. You should have 40. If you don't have 40, then email me direct and I can get you the last $4. But on a list builder, there is not a limit to the number of filters. So if you click list builder, and then you could do like, hey, show me all of the single family and that I have sold sale prices greater than 200K.
Able to, I think his question here is, are you able to do it? Because it seems like his main issue from that is it was only allowing him to do it from a specific zip code. So are you able to target the county, target the whole state?
So you can target per zip code, city, or county right here. So if you click that, you'll have a couple options there. So,
all right, Don. So there's that for you. And then last question here is from Mario. So I got the $59 a month plan, but it seems like that I need to pay an extra $49 to be able to get the list planner, to be able to filter and do everything else you're teaching here. So in reality, we're going to be paying the $110 a month. Is that correct?
So it depends. Like I showed off all the bells and whistles. So I showed off like, hey, yeah, list builder, that's an add-on. The highlights feature, the main couple differences between pro and starter is the pro level feature set would be 3 users. So if you're going to add drivers, it would be the highlights button I showed off, and then the drive this list feature, as well as you just get like more leads. You get up to like 50,000 leads if you're going to do that. So, the pro level, that's $99 a month. Our starter is $59 a month. we still really focus on being extremely competitively priced to any other thing out there. I would say, especially the $59 a month option, you won't find much out there that's cheaper than that in terms of real estate tech. But if you want everything I showed off, yeah, you'll want to go with Pro, and then consider, we didn't really get into List Builder too much, but maybe consider that List Builder add-on if you want to go all in. I will mention, if you're going to do that, and especially if you're going to stick around long term, like this is the best route. Like that's going to get you Pro and List Builder all built into it for 45% off. So I would say go with that if you can. So
right, and we're all caught up with all the questions. One last thing I wanted to just put into here in my end is at least some action plans. If you guys are doing this, if you guys are on a budget, I would save the marketing spend that you have within Deal Machine for skip tracing, and you could absolutely do the marketing side of things completely, on the freeway as well. You could handwrite these letters if you'd like,
Yep.
Or you could spend, half that money towards doing some direct mail. But go ahead, pick yourself up a free Google Voice number. If you don't want to use your own mobile phone number, you could text, you could leave a voicemail, and you could call from Google Voice. And so that's something that you guys could look into as well. Just the free way if you guys are on a budget.
Yeah.
So again,
absolutely.
It's Google Voice. You're able to create a free number, and you can start marketing out to prospects, this week.
Great questions, guys. So again, here is the homework one more time for you. Get to that 200 number, start marketing each of your leads. We're going to be emailing that out. We're going to be doing the giveaway through, for people who end up completing the homework, and, excited to get out there. We're on day 8 out at 30. So this has already been a fun journey with you guys to see how many of you are taking action, getting out there and putting the work in. So let's go land some deals. Happy deal finding, guys.
There it is.
All right. Same time, same place next week. We'll share out all the links. And Jericho, appreciate you, man. Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely. Take care, everybody. Happy Wednesday.
Thanks, guys.